Hello, my lovelies and sleepyheads. Okay, today I wanted to talk to you guys about anxiety. As I have suffered from anxiety in the past, probably still have some minor anxiety issues and stuff. I wanted to talk about a couple techniques that you could try to help calm it down or whatever. Just wanted to give a little brief run on my anxiety issues I've had in the past and how I've overcome them without taking medication or anything like that. And I probably had the most severe levels you can have of anxiety, I promise. So if I can do it, you can do it too. I just want to be a word of encouragement. So my anxiety probably started around the age of 18. I used to smoke a lot of weed back then, and I started having fainting spells. And like the first time I ever fainted, it was actually, I was working at a Wendy's restaurant, and like I was at the sandwich station, and right behind me would have been the deep fryer. And then I fainted, I guess, forward. So thank God he was there for me that day. Had I fainted backwards, I would have lost my head in the deep fryer. And then I ended up fainting. I don't know if you can see on camera or not. I have a couple scars above my eye. I fainted a couple more times and cracked my head open a couple times. And that's basically what started my anxiety, because basically I was always terrified to go out in public because I was like, okay, what if I pass out? I was afraid to walk anywhere. If I ever walked anywhere, I had to always be able to hold or grab something, because I wasn't sure when the next time I was going to black out or go down. And so this made me fear to leave the house for quite a while, almost a year of my life. I was scared to go out anywhere unless I knew I was going to be able to hold on to something or somebody or someone. It's pretty sad. But a lot of my anxiety cured up, and then I guess just about last year it came back to me full-fledged again out of nowhere. I guess I had some problems walking. I had a back spasm in my back, and I couldn't walk for 5 days straight. It was just completely done. It was a very difficult time. Very terrifying. And then I witnessed a couple of terrifying events which caused some memories come back from my childhood that I guess were repressed because they were very, very bad memories. And after this happened, my anxiety came back, and it came back full-fledged, and I was having panic attacks, and I was waking up in the middle of the night, not being able to breathe. I had thought it was from smoking and that my lungs were closing and I was gaining asthma, because we have asthma problems in my family and whatever. And I kept going back to the hospital, and 4 times I went to the hospital. They prescribed me 4 different medications to help me with my panic attacks. They weren't working for any of my panic attacks. I was on 4 different medications, and they still came. They still got worse. It actually got to the point where my throat ended up closing off on me. I think it's called the epiglottis. I'm not positive what it was, but they were talking to me about it. I had seen a chart, and they showed me there's a piece of flap in your throat that will close off. And that's what had happened to me twice, and I had to actually turn over and actually pop back open. It like pops. You could actually hear the thing pop open. So basically I had stopped breathing completely from just thoughts in my head. And I don't know why, but the medication wasn't working. I was losing my motor skills. My brain was just going to mashed potatoes. It was kind of scary. So the last time I went back to the hospital, I was in a hyperventilation attack and I was breathing really heavy and like I was taking inhalers because I thought it was my chest and I thought I was asthmatic. They did an x-ray on my lungs. They said my lungs are amazing. They're like so healthy. And I was like, wow, well that's surprising. So the lady handed me a paper bag and said, why don't you try this? And so I took the paper bag and I started breathing into the paper bag. And sure enough, it actually calmed me down because it actually raises the CO2 levels. So when we're breathing at a heavy rate, our CO2 levels lower and that will cause our throat to close up. So if you have a paper bag with you, just breathe into it. It will raise those CO2 levels. It will actually calm you down a lot. Also, it's all in your head. So anxiety usually comes from a family systemic thing or whatever. So basically, if your family members suffered trauma when they were young, they generally carry this and it carries on into their children because it's like you can take, there's a little test on mice, and I'm going to do a video more about systemic problems with humans and people, because everything that we have in our genes is systemic. It actually writes into our genes for some reason. But anyways, there's like tests they have with little lab mice, and like the little lab mice, they were to be shocked every time they ate, the babies that they were gonna have after, the same babies, if they went to go get food and they heard that same noise, because if they did a little bell with the shock that the parents heard when they got shocked when they ate, the babies you'll see jump even though there's not a shock there, because it's in their head from their parents. So it's something that is kind of in our genes, but at the same time it's something we can also fix, because we have the capability to rewrite our brain structures and rewrite our thought processes and everything like that. A lot of times things that happen to us when we were kids or whatever will end up in our theta waves, will then basically trigger how we react to things for the rest of our lives. And it's upon us to recognize, well, this is what it was, and this is how I react. And once we realize how we react, we can change it. So obviously, great things to do when you have anxiety is go somewhere by yourself, calm down if you're in an area of group of people. Slowly breathe, do breath work, do meditation. A really good exercise is called the grounding exercise. And basically, you talked about grounding in my other video with the earth and our electromagnetic waves within our body. Well, this is a grounding process, and so basically you're going to see five items. You're going to count 5 items you see, and then you're going to do 4 items you can touch, and then you're going to do 3 items you can hear, and then you're going to do 2 items you can smell, and then 1 that you can taste. And the time that you're doing this, basically you're tricking your brain from thinking about what's going on and just trying to focus in with the room around you, so that way it stops you. And if you do this and you do the paper bag exercise, I can promise you that you'll get over those attacks no matter how severe you are. Like I said, I stopped breathing completely. I had to resuscitate myself. I had blacked out so many times, and yet I got over it. So you can do it too. I promise you this. It's all in our heads, and if we tell ourselves that, you know what, this is something I can overcome, we can train our brain. We can actually grow new muscles in our brain. So just remember, it's something you're able to do, and then just work on it. And that even with OCD, It's all in our head. And we just got to say, hey, I'm not going to do it today. It's not going to happen. I do not have anxiety. It's something I thought of, and this will go away. And this is only a moment in time, and tomorrow it's going to get better. Anyways, God bless you all. I love you. Stay safe.